Alright, so we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and in today's video we are going to be going over the latest V-Jump scan that we did get. Now we got one for Dokkan, and then we got one for Legends. If you're not aware, if you are a Legends player, we got the Spirit Bomb LF Goku. Pretty cool. It means the animations look alright, his kit looks pretty good as well. So definitely if you're a Legends player, some stuff to look forward to, and possibly an Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I think that's pretty unlikely if we're being honest here. They're probably going to want to save that for, you know, anniversary or something hype like that. But still, Legends got some cool stuff incoming. For Dokkan, this is all stuff we basically know, except one thing at the bottom. So you can see they do show a little anniversary stuff. So you can see there's the countdown images for 9th year anniversary, and then the missions. And, you know, these two pictures, here, let me zoom in a little. Yeah, you could see Tournament of Power. So we got Goku and Frieza here, and then we got God Goku, but this is the God Goku from the Hidden God Goku card from, obviously, the Tournament of Power. Now, look. Does this mean no Beast Gohan? I don't necessarily think. I mean, it's possible, right? I think this could easily just be a full Tournament of Power celebration, and then that's that. But it's still possible that this could be a Tournament of Power and Beast Gohan celebration, just because I feel like that's something a lot of people want. And maybe if Dokkan's listening to the community, that's something they could give us. Now, a lot of people are thinking, okay, wait a minute, why are we saying it's Tournament of Power? The countdown clearly indicates Tournament of Power, but maybe that could be building up to like superhero. So like this would be the first countdown image, and then it would continuously go until superhero. But with the missions tab literally having God Goku from the Tournament of Power on there, I think that basically confirms at least one of the themes for anniversary is going to be Tournament of Power. And also I think this is the last countdown one because it says 1. So I guess everything I said doesn't really matter anyway because it's the last one. So typically the last image of the countdown, like little teasers like this, go right into the theme of anniversary or whatever the countdown is like for, right? So Tournament Power definitely coming for anniversary. Is that a good thing? Yes, I think that's a very good thing. Not only because we've been waiting for a big time celebration based around Tournament Power for a long time, but dude, this category, it needs the help. Specifically Easy A's. I mean, the new summonable LR is obviously a good thing. A new Revive UI Goku, a new Transforming Jiren, all that perfectly fine with. A new Evolution Blue Vegeta as well. I think that's definitely needed. But in terms of Easy A's, I mean, I guess we could just go through them here. We're going to pull a lot of tabs up, so let's prepare for that. But yeah, we got the LR Jiren right here. I guess we can just talk about them one by one. A pretty solid unit right now. His main issue is he is more of a super battle road unit. You know, there's a lot of attack down and defense down, like restrictions in his kit and all that. So unfortunately, he's probably not going to have the craziest of Easy A's, but he does have some pretty solid stats start of turn. So if they bump this up to like, I don't know, maybe 300% if they want to get really crazy, but I think more realistically, probably like 250. Or they'll just put like other attack and defense buffs in his kit, however they want to handle that. But just give him more stats, give him defense on super. And then I guess he could be pretty good. I mean, the reason I'm not saying like guard, damage reduction, dodge, anything like that is because, like I mentioned, this is more of a super battle road unit. So even if he does end up getting the guard, damage reduction, dodge, it's probably going to be heavily restricted to a point where we're not going to see it that often. So I'd rather them make him like really good just as a stats unit, like get him to over 1 million defense after he supers or whatever, maybe pushing 2 million so he can actually survive the supers, and have him drop over 10 million with crits, you know, all that. And then I think his Easy A will be pretty good because I don't really think they're going to just go crazy with a super battle road unit like this. But I don't know. Dokkan can handle the Easy A's however they want. So hopefully they make him really good. But I don't have that much hope for the Jiren's Easy A if I'm being completely honest. And then next we've got Hidden God Goku. I don't really know if they're going to Easy A during the celebration. They are a 2021 LR, a late 2021 LR at that. So it's not necessarily 100% sure. Like a lot of these other Tournament of Power units, it's like, all right, they need to Easy A. But these guys, I could really go either way. If they do get an Easy A, they're going to be absolutely broken. You can see here 50% attacking defense on their 18 key, 30% on 12 key. Already very, very good. They've got dodge built in. They've got a lot of stats built in. So a really good unit as it stands. So if they get an Easy A, yeah, they're definitely going to be very good. But they're probably not going to Easy A during the celebration because, again, they are a 2021 LR. And then we got the physical 17 and Golden Frieza. A lot of people, I feel like, are underrating these guys. They can be somewhat solid now. They definitely suck. Don't get that wrong. They're very bad. But people think they're, like, absolutely worthless. And that's just not true. They got damage reduction built in. They've got additionals built in. And they get the damage reduction depending on how many additionals you get. So I think you can get to a max of, I think, like nearly 40% damage reduction with like perfect RNG. So that's not horrible. Of course, their stats aren't really great, so that does play a big factor in them not really being that great as well. But if you bring them in a red zone stage type advantage, they're definitely going to be able to tank normals, and I think they'll have a shot at surviving the super as well. Now, of course, that does depend on where you bring them, but still, some pretty good value with these guys, and as long as you bump their numbers up, and then I guess give them defense on super, they're going to be impressive. Make this like 10%, make this 100% start of turn, and then, 50% attacking defense on 12 key, 50% attacking defense on 18 key, and then bam, they're good, because that damage reduction is pretty solid as it stands. They just maybe need to give them more additionals and make it more damage reduction, and then again, they'll be very impressive. And then next, who do we got? A lot of free-to-play units, doesn't really matter. Of course, we got the 6-year anniversary LRs, who we'll talk about a little bit later. Yeah, everyone here is already Easy 8. Oh, yeah, we got the Team Universe 7 card. Dude, I don't know. Look, a lot of people probably think that Super Saiyan 3 Goku is the hardest hitting LR in the game right now, and I think that's true. But if this guy gets an Easy A, I could very, very, very easily see him taking that throne from Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Because I remember on release, this guy was dropping like 10 million attack stats just casually, right? And of course, back in, well, what, the 6-year anniversary, 2021, that was really, really good. So this guy getting an Easy A, I mean, they're going to put him on that level of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, where he's dropping close to like 30 million on a pretty casual turn for him. Now, of course, there are some restrictions in his kit. You got to be on a Reps Universe 7 team, which isn't really amazing, but if we're getting a lot of buffs to Universe Survival Saga or Reps Universe 7 during this celebration, then that team's going to become really good, so then you can make a good team for this unit right here. And also, he's a little bit of a support in his super attack effects, so of course, that's always nice. And then, you got some crits built in as well, so if you get, crits with like 20, 30 million attack stats, yeah, this guy has very good potential for his Easy A. I don't want to sleep on that at all. So very good skeleton with both the Part 2 6-year anniversary LRs. One of them has potential to be more crazy offensively, and the other one has potential to be more crazy defensively. So I think that's a nice little correlation there. But also, because the list isn't over yet, we got a lot of Easy A's up and coming, or at least hopefully we got a lot of Easy A's up and coming. We got the Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta. Good potential, 50% attacking defense on 12 and 18 key, so their super attack effects are already looking really good. Their stats are a little low, and also they do have this debuff, so that is something they need to fix. I'd say just completely get rid of the debuff. Make this like 170% just to make them somewhat solid start of turn. Bump this up maybe 15%. If you want to make it like 17%, that'd be pretty good as well. And then, yeah, you can bump this up a little, maybe give them a little bit more key. And then I'd say make all the additionals have a medium chance to become a super. And then, because that's not enough, maybe give them a little bit of guard as well. Or give them damage reduction for every super they do, like the 17 and gold and Frieza. I think that'd be a pretty good design for them because, of course, they get a lot of additionals. So if you're ramping up damage reduction with all of them, then after they super, they're going to look very impressive. Now, I know, of course, we like it when units are more designed towards slot 1. And if these units get all their defense after they super, that is slot 2 and 3. So, of course, AoEs, if they get sealed, anything like that, that is kind of going to crush them. But I don't know. Dokkan really likes making units good in slot 2. So I'm assuming that's a theme they're kind of going to keep with these Easy A's. So let's just, for the sake of the argument, say that they're probably going to be good for slot 2 and 3, so they're not going to give them like 50% damage reduction in slot 1, because I feel like that is a little unrealistic. Let's leave the slot 1 options on Universe Survival Saga to the UI Gokus. I feel like that's probably a little bit more realistic. But yeah, still very good potential with these guys as Easy A. They're going to link well with a lot of the UI Gokus, so running them in slot 2 and a really good UI Goku in slot 1 definitely has a lot of potential as a rotation. And, a lot of good teams. A lot of the units I've been talking about actually have some pretty weak teams that they're buffing as well, so it's something you're going to want to keep in mind. But these guys, definitely good potential with their Easy A, like everyone else we've talked about. And then, yeah, I guess we can talk about this guy, and then we'll get into the 6-year anniversary LRs. So, STR UI Goku, I mean, it's like I just said, a lot of the UI Gokus are going to be very good for slot 1 with their Easy A. This guy already has a 70% chance to dodge for the first 7 turns, so you can imagine what they're going to do with that. If they want to make it like guaranteed dodge for the first 7 turns, that would be very crazy. Might be a little too OP, so don't hold your breath with that one. But I think that's definitely possible. Or maybe make it like, I mean, I guess they could do like an 80% chance to dodge. I don't really know how that would work because there's no like way they word an 80% chance to dodge. So they might just straight up say like he has an 80% chance to dodge for the first 7 turns. And then it drops to like a 60% or something. But between that and the build-up, this guy definitely is going to look really good with his Easy A because, of course, all these things are only going to get better with his Easy A. So definitely, again, good potential with this guy. I feel like I've said that with every unit now, but it's true. all of these units can be really crazy because, you know, with the UI Gokus, they've got a high chance to dodge. With some of these other units, they've got like damage reduction built in. They've got support, or they're already dropping like 10 million attack stats. So then you could assume they're going to do even more with their EZA. That's why this has such potential to be a good team, because there's these EZAs here that are perfectly placed to be absolutely insane. Like, I think after this celebration, if we do get an EZA for a lot of these units, the top like 10, 15 best units in the game is probably going to be majority Universe Survival Saga units. Like, that's just something to think about. Like, this team is about to probably be the best team in the game. So, I mean, you know, if you've got these guys, make sure you awaken them, especially if you're on JP. So, yeah, getting into the 6-year anniversary LRs, I mean, do I need to talk about UI Goku that much? I mean, I don't know. Let's just pull Evolution Blue Vegeta up, because UI Goku, we're probably going to talk about him for like a second. Honestly, I mean, I've said this before. This guy's still a really good unit. Like, if you just showed me his kit and I didn't even see his release date, I probably would have said that this guy just does not need an EZA. The Evolution Blue Vegeta, a little bit of a different case. They kind of fumbled him, if I'm being completely honest. But this guy, he's got everything built in. Additionals, crits, dodge. He's got a revive mechanic as well. He doesn't get defense on super, so that's definitely something they need to give him. He's got no guard or no damage reduction, but that doesn't matter because most of the time you're just dodging the attack anyway. He's building up ki as well, so that's definitely very good. And then his active skill, if you crit, it's going to do some solid damage. So that's definitely good. And yeah, just a really good unit overall. They don't need to do much with this guy. I mean, anything would make him good. Like I said, defense on super. Maybe make this like 180%. And then make it like a high chance to become an additional super. And then, dude, that's it. You don't need to do anything else. You don't even really need to bump the crit chance, because the double super automatically makes it guaranteed, because this does stack. If you want to make it a 70% chance, whatever, that's fine. I mean, I guess it'll be a little bit nicer. He'll be doing some extra damage, but this guy's already so crazy. So UI Goku does not need much. I guess maybe you could throw more stuff in his active skill. That definitely is a little weak. Make him, I don't know, super effective against all types, get a guaranteed crit, support all allies for a couple ki or something like that. I know typically they don't change the effect of the active skill, but there's really not a whole lot they can do with his EZA, so they might want to do that, because almost everything already looks impressive with this guy outside of his super attack effects, and then I guess the active skill, like I said. So, amazing potential with UI Goku. I would say he's probably going to be the top 5 best units in the game after his EZA, if not top 3 or the best, just because there's so much in his kit that's already really good. So an EZA now, I mean, yeah, that's just the icing on the cake. He's going to be very impressive with that. Now, Evolution Blue Vegeta definitely has good potential. Not as much as UI Goku, but good potential nonetheless. He's not as good as UI Goku because, unfortunately, they fumbled him on release. Not really another way to say that. You know, he's got the damage reduction, which is nice, but it resets every turn, and it only goes up to 30%. That definitely does suck. Or the damage reduction goes up to 40%, but he only builds up 30%, and then that resets every turn. So he only has a base of 10% damage reduction. Really weak once you compare that to UI Goku's 70% chance to dodge all the time. So, you know, you could tell they held back with this guy a little, so I hope they don't keep that same consistency with their EZA. I would say make this 30%, and then I guess, yeah, keep that at 30%, but make it permanent. Maybe make it to where he gets 10% damage reduction with every couple of attacks received, but then it's permanent. So then once you get the 60% damage reduction, you have 60% damage reduction. You can just throw this guy wherever with that. Give him defense on super, bump this up to 180% as well, and then this guy's golden. His active skill is a little bit better, I would say, because it is an AoE. So if they want to give him super effective against all types, crits, whatever, that'd be nice. But his active skill does have a little bit more value than the UI Goku's, so I wouldn't necessarily think it's necessary. And they need to focus a lot on this guy's passive. So if we don't see a change in the active skill, but they bump up his damage reduction and make it permanent, then I'd be perfectly fine with that, because that's the main issue with this guy. So that, alongside some defense on super, could easily make this guy probably top 5 units in the game, honestly. So a lot of potential with him. The 6-year anniversary LRs, they're about to be on top again. Just wait. They're going to be very crazy. And I think they're the only units we know for a fact they're going to EZA. I say that with quotations. I mean, we pretty much know the 6-year anniversary LRs are going to EZA during the celebration, just because they're typically consistent with these anniversary LRs EZAing during anniversary. So, for example, last year we had the EZA for the 5th year anniversary LRs, so then that makes sense. The anniversary after that, you'd get the EZA for the 6th year anniversary LRs, and then next year, we'd get the EZA for the 7th year anniversary LRs. Don't even get me started on that. They're about to be I don't know. They're going to be so high on the list, they're going to start getting into the negatives. You'd think that'd mean they're bad, but that's just the only way you can represent how crazy their EZA is going to be. So that's for another video, though. 7th year anniversary LRs are going to be insane. And other than a few TURs, I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, there's the Tech Kale and Caulifla. I mean, they got some good potential. They might EZA. I mean, for anniversary, it's a little bit of an unhyped choice, but it's still possible. I guess they do go into Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, so that is kind of anniversary worthy. So these guys could definitely EZA. There's also the STR transforming Kefla. Who else? I'm sure there's a couple other units, but in terms of the main hype ones that really deserve an EZA for anniversary, I think that's pretty much it. We got the Super Saiyan 2 Keflas, and then all the LRs we just mentioned. And again, all of these guys have good potential. The Keflas have good potential because they've got dodge built in, so if they make that a little bit better and then bump their stats up, obviously they're going to be very good. So that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which units you want to see EZA the most from the Tournament of Power category. And let me know how you're feeling about Tournament of Power for anniversary. There's definitely still a shot at Beast Gohan, but I think we at least know for a fact we're getting Tournament of Power. So let me know how you feel about that down in the comments, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.